updates and where to park and ride. Get the latest airshow travel when you need it most.
BBC Newcastle, North East Travel.
Now, it could be the biggest change in our public transport system for 25 years. Councils in Tyne Wear are pressing ahead with a plan to take back some control over the area's buses. If it goes ahead, it would give councillors and not bus companies control over which routes to run and how much they'd cost. Well, our political editor Richard Moss was at the meeting which made the decision and joins us now. So what's been agreed to do then, Richard?
Well, this is a little bit of the rolling back of the deregulation of the buses that happened in 1986 when it was all handed to private companies. It's not complete renationalisation, but what it does is it gives councils and bus companies, as you say, control over the fares, control over the routes, control over the timetables. It isn't going ahead yet. They're going to consult on this over the next 3 months or so. But this is David Wood, who's the chair of the Tyne Wear Integrated Transport Authority, and why he thinks this is necessary.
There are less and less buses on the road. Fares are going up through different mechanisms. There are many, many types of fares. And what we are saying is that we want to sort of bring everything together. And we're saying 80% of the fares would be either the same or cheaper. There'd be fully integrated ticketing across the whole piece. And it would make it much, much easier for the travelling public to understand what's happening and hopefully get people back on the buses.
I suspect the bus companies aren't happy about this, Sir Richard.
No, they've had a long-standing objection to this. Indeed, they have threatened repeatedly to take legal action if it goes ahead. They believe the councils are overreaching their powers. And they say there isn't a problem to solve here, really, because satisfaction amongst passengers in Tyne Wear about buses is the highest in the country. They prefer to reach a partnership agreement with the councils to try and get some of the improvements that the councils want to make. This is Tom Dodds, who's from Go North East.
It is a mistake because it will commit the people of Tyne Wear to supporting their bus services financially and the metro and the ferry system for many years going forwards. The bus operators in the North East have offered a partnership option which includes improved ticketing for 16 to 18-year-olds and a whole new range of bus-to-bus tickets for people who use buses but don't use metro.
What about the passengers? Is their opinion going to come into all of this?
Well, they will get a chance to contribute to this consultation, which starts next week and will run till November the 5th, over 14 weeks. There were some there at the meeting today, though. The Public Transport User Group, representatives of that in Tyne Wear, were there, including some who've lost their bus services. Vicki Gilbert is from there. She lost her bus service in Marden in North Tyneside, and she believes the bus company should stop griping and get with this quality contract, as it's called, because it works well in London.
In London, they make profits of 6% and they renew the buses, they invest in the system and they still make a good profit there. Whereas in Tyne Wear, we think their profits are about 18%. And so it isn't justified to take the taxpayers of Tyne Wear to court when they're making those sorts of profits.
Yeah, what about those taxpayers that she's talking about? They're the ones that subsidise the buses. Will this offer them better value for money?
Well, more than £60 million of council taxpayers' money every year in Tyne Wear goes to subsidise bus routes. Now, this, according to the Transport Authority, will save around £7 million a year. So over 10 years of this quality contract, as it's called, £70 million potentially. The bus companies, I think, dispute some of that. They believe that's a false economy. But the Transport Authority says if you didn't do this, you'd have to do things like withdraw the Shields Ferry, end child concessionary fares. But others are more doubtful. Peter Wood is a Conservative councillor from Sunderland who sits on the Transport Authority. He believes there's a risk for council taxpayers as well.
Currently, if a bus service loses money, it's the bus company that picks up the bill, as it were, or the shareholder. If, on the other hand, we have the quality contract, it's the council taxpayer that picks up the bill. And with all the pressures on local government finance at the moment, there's no way that really we can add that burden to the council taxpayer.
That's Sunderland councillor Peter Wood ending that report from Richard Moss. And there's more on that, by the way, on Look North tonight, 6:30 on BBC One.
And it's 1 year since the start of the London Olympics.
Alfie and Charlie at breakfast.
Our region has a great heritage when it comes to sport. So we've got the Great North Run, an international athletics stadium,
city games from time to time.
We've produced Steve Cram,